What's good? What's good? It's your man, Rico. Let me turn this around so y'all can see me. I know. What's up? It's your man, Rico. Rico the Opinionist. Got a couple of thoughts I'm going to share with y'all real quick before I head in to watch the return of Stabler. Elliot Stabler is returning to Law and Order SVU tonight. So we've all been waiting on that. What's up, Chris? And then he's going to spin off to his own show, Law and Order, what's this, Violent Crimes or something like that. So I'm going to try to get back to the house so I can see how they meet up. You know how it is, because they've been gone like 10 years. So we're going to see how Dick Wolf has written this story written him back into Law and Order SVU, Law and Order Violent Crimes. That's his new show. So anyway, I just want to let y'all get in here real quick. This is Rico the Opinionist. I have a YouTube channel, Instagram, as well as Twitter. And on this live here, I have my PayPal and my Cash App. Fool with me if you're cool with me. And I'm just going to lay a couple of thoughts on y'all real quick. Well, I always say real quick, but it ends up being, a little minute. When you have a lot to share. Who's this trying to come in already? Hold on one second. I've never done this. But I'm going to do this before I get into my thoughts. Somebody's trying to come live already. Let me see if it'll work. Approve. Oh. Let me see if it will work. I guess it will not work. Tino, what's up? I tried to put you in, bro. It won't let me do live, man. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. I have my earphones in. And let me know if y'all can hear the wind blowing. Just throw your thumbs up and say, yes, I can hear you or something. Okay, cool. Thanks, bro. All right. So, let me get to it. What's that? Delfred Montague Ivy? That's somebody new. What's up? Welcome to my live, Delfred. Yeah, that's right. So, I'll wait a couple of more seconds before I get right into it. Y'all know the topics. Yeah, I've seen it in the news. I had quite a few topics, but I thought I'd break it down to just two. And tonight, before I head in and check out Law and Order SVU, the return of Elliot Stabler, I'm going to talk about the 5-year-old little black boy who was, who left school. And he was accosted. I'm using all the hard words. He was accosted by these cops. If y'all saw the video, and it was terrible. You know how you get so angry that you want to run out and burn something up or shoot somebody? I think I might have reached that level because I can't stand to see, of course, black men being attacked, but black children. And particularly black boys, when you know that black boys are the target. Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu said, if you want to destroy a black man, you have to destroy him as a boy. I don't know why we don't understand that. We're questioning the behavior of these young adult men and these older adult men, but we ignore them as boys and we expect them to be functioning adults. When we do a lot of stupid shit and we say a lot of stupid things to children, period. Same thing for girls, but I'm talking about black boys because it is black men who will get us out of this bullshit that's going on. That is why it is black boys that this society is always targeting for violence, targeting for incarceration, targeting for turning them out and making them from boys into girls or straight men into gay men. Y'all can debate that. The scholars, hey Kelly, what's up? Kenyatta Kelly, what's up? And so the scholars have already written about this. We just pretended we didn't see the books, so we have no interest in reading the books. Ezel, hey, what's up, brother? We act like we don't care what happens to boys. Well, continue to not give a damn about what happens to boys. And then you're going to be questioning why these teenage males and these young men are not functioning at a proper level. Because we ignored them, we didn't nurture them, we didn't protect them as boys. I'm going to keep saying boys, because boys are what they are. They're little boys. And this 5-year-old little boy is indicative. What happened to him, and it's called Montgomery County, Maryland. Those two cops, that WWE wrestler voice ass bitch cop And that lame ass, fake ass wanna be the rock male black cop. The way they yelled at him and screamed at him, and he was screaming at the top of his lungs, and they thought they were doing something so great. But see, it's called cognitive dissonance, meaning you don't believe that this is actually an injury or a pain been done to a people, or you don't have that kind of that empathy for somebody. The same way we were treated ancestrally on the plantations. It's the same behavior that we brought into what we call modern day society. The same stuff. You know why? Because Dr. Joy Leary wrote a book that stated that we've never been treated for this past trauma. So we enact that same trauma out on our own people. We have the same disdain for our own people, even our children. And so that's what's going on. When I saw those cops, my fucking head blew off my shoulders. And let me tell you what happened. A lot of things happened in that video. And I put the video on my page, and I tried to engage folks in dialogue, but nobody really had much to say about it for some reason. Now, had there been a little 5-year-old black girl, a little 5-year-old mixed kid, a 5-year-old Asian kid, or a 5-year-old Italian, whatever, white kid, those cops would have handled that child, that non-black boy with kid gloves. They would have handled him with care and nurturing and concern. And so people say, well, Rico, you don't know the history of that. That boy probably, we love to call black kids bad. That's silly shit. See, I grew up in the same stuff that black people grew up in. But you know what? When we grow up, as they say, when you know better, you're supposed to do better. But it's like we're continuing to perpetuate all the bullshit that was said to us and done to us by our ignorant ass parents, ignorant grandmothers, ignorant, mean ass auntie, silly ass fathers. But not too many. It's a lot of this stuff comes from the women. I don't give a damn what y'all say. Because the first person to call a child nappy-headed or a child, this child's hurt is bad, was a mother or auntie or a grandma. It wasn't a father. So I'm going to stop saying mother and father, because I grew up seeing the shit. I know where it comes from. So we can stop saying what fathers do to children. And particularly, if this is fact, 80% of black children are born to single mothers. Stop saying what fathers have done to children. If based on statistics, they're not even there. So the person that's there is the one that's fucking these kids up, or who have fucked these kids up. So let's get this straight. So I get tired. Every time you start talking about the women, all of a sudden they want to say, well, it happens in both ways. No, it doesn't, goddammit, because statistics don't say so. Look at the numbers. If 8% of black kids are born to single women, that means there are no men there. So if they're fucked up, the women fucked them up. So let's go. And I saw all of this. That cop, both of them, in my opinion, should be fired. Because had that been a kid of another race, they would have called for their heads. See, we're so busy as a black community, as a black race, we're so used to abuse. We're so used to inhumane treatment, not before we leave the house, but in-house. For 23 years, I taught my clients in my therapy and my education groups, substance abuse and mental health. It is our households that present us to the world. Whatever messages, whatever modeling, whatever cues that go on in our households, we take that stuff outside unless somewhere on our path of life, we run into somebody who can teach us better, or we model from other people. That's how it is, because not a lot of us have gone to counseling. A lot of us don't look at therapy as an option, but it's become, a catchphrase these days. Go to therapy, go to therapy. And I hope people are actually going to therapy to deal with their childhood foolishness, because a lot of us caught it. And please don't tell me, well, in my household, I don't give a damn about you exceptions out there, because your exceptions don't change the goddamn rule. I get tired of hearing that. Well, in my household, the women in my family, I don't give a damn about your family. One person out of 1,000 does not change the reality. So save that too. So here we go. The cops are just yelling and screaming as the poor little boy is screaming. Let me tell you something about you fathers out there that think you're doing a good job by, as you say, not coddling your boys. See, a human being is holistic. Yes, boys should be taught to hunt, gather, protect, and provide. But they also have to be nurtured on into that way of thinking and their way of behaving. You can't, it's just like if you put a dog in a cage in your backyard and all you gave was raw meat. And then you take the leash off of him and you expect him not to jump the fence and go tear the first asshole he sees walking down the street off of it. They're human beings. You don't treat children like that. Yeah, I believe in discipline. I believe in training. But what we're going to have to do is get the therapy and get some of this old training off of us. See, that's a 5-year-old little boy. What that officer was supposed to do, and I'm not saying what he should have done, I'm telling you what he's supposed to do. What he's supposed to have done was say, hey, what's up, little buddy? What's up, little buddy? What's going on? How come you don't want to go to school? You know, because, see, it is assumed that that little boy didn't have a dad at home because, you know, he's just walking around. He left school. And also, they didn't ask, why'd you leave school? But we don't know. All we know is what we saw in that video, and it was disturbing. So, instead of saying, hey, little buddy, now this is a grown-ass man. He could have grabbed that little boy and said, come here, little buddy. What's wrong, man? Why are you crying? How come you left school? You know, I know cops aren't social workers, but guess what? They're not social workers. They're not mental health counselors either. But somehow, when they run across somebody who's white or non-black who has a mental illness issue or a crisis, they know how to apprehend them with care and get them in the car and sometimes drop them off at Burger King to get a little lunch. So please miss me with with that whole thing about what cops aren't and what their jobs aren't, because I know cops behave a certain way with certain people. You feel me? So here we go. They're yelling and screaming at this little boy. Now, I don't care what you want. No, they're just accusing him of shit. Well, you can't have your way. Who says he want to have his way? Y'all never even thought to ask, what's wrong? Why is he leaving school? What's going on at school? What's going on at home? See, we're going to have to do better with our little kids. You know, that's right, Kenyatta. You know, that's why don't we investigate? Why don't we ask our children questions? Because we have this stereotype of our own kids. Yeah, our kids misbehave just like everybody else, but guess what? They're still children. They still deserve to at least be asked a question like, what's going on? Why are you doing this? Or why are you standing here? Or why aren't you at school? And so with the 5-year-old little boy, I say they did everything wrong and their asses need to be fired. That's why we as the black community need to write letters to the police chief and everybody else and tell those people they need to be fired. They need to be put on some kind of maybe death duty or something if y'all want them fired, but I think their ass need to be fired. Maybe they need to go work in the prisons. They got all that goddamn hype about them. Go become correction officers. Yeah, do that. Because you don't need to be out on these streets, especially in the black neighborhoods, because you know there's a kind of like a bit of disarray, you know, an imbalance going on. You don't need to be there. You don't have that kind of caring and sensitivity for a 5-year-old little black boy early in the morning walking down a winding road in a country-ass town. That's the best y'all can do? Yell at him and scream at him and get in this car. Then as Tommy Sotomayor calls them, the BT-1000, the Black Terminatrix. See, yeah, you need a beating. You need a beating. If he was mad, I'd beat him. I ain't just acting a plum GD fool with this kid. And then if y'all watch the video, you probably noticed what I noticed. How come it was the white woman there while they was acting like pure apes out of a fucking jungle? She said, okay, honey. Okay, okay. She's the only one with the voice of soothingness and calmness. And I'm sure she has children too. But it's interesting how these grown black cops, the one of them, especially the woman, the husky ass masculine non-feminine woman, she doing all that yelling and screaming. I'm sure the white woman has kids. But even if the little boy walked home from school, he's 5, damn it. Ask him. But see, again, we don't view our little boys as human beings the way the plantation owners didn't view black babies as human beings. If you read the story of the gator baits. See, we're acting just like them, particularly with black boys. And I need y'all to hear what I'm saying. We have to protect our black boys if you want them to grow up to be men who give a damn not only about themselves, but about others in society. See, what that dumbass cops, what both of them failed to do, the opportunity that they missed was one to say, hey, you know, all cops aren't like this, aren't all bad. You know, they could have made him say, you know, feel like in his mind, now, you know what, the cops are here to help me. They can help me with my problem. They can maybe make things a little better for me. But they didn't do that because they're just like so many other Negroes in our country, in this country. So many black folks in our race, they can't stand children. As I always said, dude, black children are not planned. Black children are just had because this heifer has something against abortion. 80% of black children are not planned. That's why we don't give a shit about them like that, because black children are not partly planned. They're not created out of love. If we loved our children, we will have them appropriately. A lot of black children are nothing but commodity, a means to an end, economic end. And when they get a certain age, they get on our nerves. We don't want them. We barely see black children all the way through teenage years. Because by the time a little black girl gets to be 14, and Lord help her if she got some hips, and mama getting a new boyfriend, hell, it's going to be hell on that little black girl. Because her mama thanks the boyfriend looking at her when probably he is. I don't understand that shit either. Then a boy is okay as long as he get 14 and 15. If he can bring some money in the house, then he's cool. But if he decides, no, he's not bringing any money in, well, his ass is kicked out. You're no good here. You go. So, and there's plenty of examples that y'all can catch on social media of this behavior. And so those cops are assholes. They're unfeeling, disgusting, a terrible example of what cops could be in our community. And I was really upset. I'm still upset about it. You know, those are motherfuckers. I saw something happen to them in the street, I wouldn't even care. Because they didn't have enough humanity. They didn't have enough intelligence. They didn't have enough empathy or sympathy for a little black boy who was wandering off from school. That's what I think about these motherfuckers. And this is supposed to be our own. We're always talking about we got to make sure these boys don't be around these white girls because that can be the end of their life. No, it's it's not just white cops. It's cops that call blue, period, across the board. So, you know, let's do better at protecting our little children. And guess what? Little black boys have computers. Little black girls have computers just like every other children of other races. Whatever you say to them, let me go back to whatever you say to them, their computers process. And those two dumbasses, you know, when they got to the school, the woman's going to scream. One of them like, screaming in the boy's face. Who thought that was a good idea? But let you know that cognitive dissonance, they don't give a shit about our kids. They don't. You see it every day. Let me tell you something. How I know that black people don't give a shit about their children or about black kids. If you give birth to a child while living in the ghetto or the hood, you don't give a shit about that kid. If you give birth to a kid, you get pregnant by somebody you know his ass is selling dope, he's in a gang, he in the 10th grade just like you, drops out of school, you don't give a shit about that kid. You don't. So stop lying. You don't. Because what? You think a kid, let me tell y'all something. Y'all think if children can pick their parents, they'll pick a motherfucker who's 15 years old, who's 13, who's 16? Y'all think he'll pick a teenager to be their parent? Somebody who's poor, mentally ill, neck full of tattoos, full of blunts, or she getting her ass whooped by her baby, by the dude, or the relationship. You think a kid will pick that? You think a kid will pick? Come on, y'all. The examples are there. Because people who care about anything, they prepare for them. Just like if you pass a class, what do? You study. And on the night before the damn test, you study some more. You prepare. One who's trying to get a degree in college, what do? You prepare. One who's about to move to a new city for new adventures and new experiences, what do? You prepare. So how come, goddammit, we don't prepare when it's time to have children, black folks? So anyway, let me get to my next topic because I'm going to run into going into Law and Order, the return of Elliot Stabler. All right. This second thing, and I want y'all to really take your time. No, kind of go with me on this, okay? I'm not going to talk too fast. I'm going to try not to stumble my words, because I really want y'all to hear me on this second piece. Now, how many of you saw the footage of the 65-year-old Asian woman being stomped and kicked by this? He appears to be a black dude, but it could be biracial. But anyway, I'm going to drop some on y'all that I hope somebody else has thought about, because I don't like to be the one to be doing some breaking news shit all the time. But here's the deal. All right. See, I watched that video. I watched it once. I watched it twice. All right. And so, they show in the video that some man comes down the street, and he punches, kicks, and stomps a 65-year-old woman who happens to be Asian. Now, y'all see all this anti-Asian shit going on, right? Okay. I don't know who the fuck's supposed to be messing with Asians, but somehow black people get put in everybody's bullshit. Y'all tell me when black folks have been attacking Asians. Y'all let me know when. When is this happening? If anything, there's videos of Asians attacking us, black women. Ain't nobody attacking no fucking Asians. But anyway, that's the narrative that all of the liberal media has put out. And then all your black celebrities, stop it, and there's anti-Asian hate, but they don't put nothing towards the people who's actually attacking them. You had the white boy to go in there and shoot up Asians. Then it's, and here in Plano, they just put in this white school district, they had a test, they had a test, an 8th grade test that said, name some of the 3 things that Chinese people do. So, I know nobody black put that test together. It wasn't in a black school district, but somehow the fingers always pointed at black folks, and here we go again, black men. I need black men to stop paying attention to this shit. See, when I saw this, I was like, this is really suspect. I think the beating was actually real. But when I saw this, with all of a sudden, all of this anti-Asian hype, let's all end the anti-Asian, stop the anti-Asian attacks, and you got the black celebrities all on their Instagram. You know what I thought about? I thought about the Jussie Smollett situation. You know how the homosexuals tried to use him as like a guinea pig to try to say that people are attacking homosexuals, when he lied and said that in 15 degrees below zero weather, some racist white dudes got him and called him a fag and tried to noose around his neck and all that goddamn cold. One thing about racists, I don't think a racist wearing a hood would come out no 17 below zero fucking weather to call some biracial dude a nigga. Get out of here. And holler faggot. Like Richard Pryor said, we'll be prejudice in the summer. That's one of his Richard Pryor live on the Sunset Strip, I think. I think so. And guess what? We found that out to be a lie. And so I think that they used this Asian woman to try to, hold on, let me go back. When that happened, it all came out that he was friends with Kamala Harris. And Kamala Harris is in the Senate, and Kamala Harris, and I think that, what's that biracial guy who always get a girlfriend when he's trying to run for a race? That light-skinned biracial bald-head dude. What's his name? And his girlfriend turned out to be bisexual. She's an actress. Every time he try to run for something, run for president. What's that light-skinned bald-head dude name? What's his name? All of a sudden he gets a girlfriend when he's trying to run for bald-head, light-skinned, biracial guy. Damn. And the girl played she played a lot of movies. Back in the 80s, she played a movie called Kids. She played an Eddie Murphy, that space movie that didn't do well. What else? She had a cute face. What's that damn chick's name, that actress? But y'all know the politician, he's bald head. I think he's out of Baltimore, Maryland, somewhere. Yeah, thank you, Lisa Newby. Cory Booker. Thank you, Lisa. Cory Booker. I think Cory Booker was in on this. Kamala Harris. Y'all see these two non-blacks? They right here trying to create a anti-lynching bill for homosexuals to be included. Now, who in history has been hanging homosexuals? Y'all see, everybody jumps off the backs of blacks to get some kind of law made. And so what the Asians did was try, I think, in my opinion, they used this woman as a guinea pig just so they can get this piece of legislation turned into law, this anti-Asian hate. Y'all not even paying attention. These people, they ain't playing. That's how they do blacks. And we just ride here jumping on bandwagons, don't see what the fuck these folks doing. Everybody uses blacks. And so Cory Booker, and I forgot her, if you can think of that girlfriend name, that would be cool. Not like it's just relevant, but he always, she turned out to be bisexual. She announced that she was bisexual. Not long after he said, hey, y'all, this is my girlfriend. So stop thinking I'm gay. Stop thinking I'm that dude. So anyway, so immediately after the woman was attacked, they went straight to the Congress, and y'all's that dementia president went straight to the Congress, and they put together, and it's going to probably, more likely it's going to pass because a lot of fanfare for it. Anti-Asian hate legislation. Rosario Dawson, Lisa Good, I'll tell you, if I see you at homecoming, I'm just going to hug you. I ain't going to call your name. I'm going to run up on you and hug you. Tell your man just to be prepared. I'm going to hug his old lady. If I see you at homecoming anywhere, thank you, sweetheart. So, anyway, and so this is the game that they're playing. And this is nothing new. How y'all think a lot of the gay legislation and all these laws the legislation was turned into law? I believe that people do this. They send out guinea pigs to try to create the narrative, in order to put their agenda, the narrative that there's some hate. And so they had to put somebody out there. I guess it's the same thing what they did with the civil rights movement. They had those people, had those black folks to get bit by dogs and milkshakes thrown in their faces in restaurants where they weren't allowed to be, and get beaten up by the cops on that bridge, so they can show the world, hey, we need to have an anti-hate bill or anti-lynching bill and all of that. So I guess everyone does it, but it's just, but again, who's fucking with Asians, really? If anything, Asians are fucking with black folks, because they don't mess with nobody else, only black people. Everybody picks on blacks, and we sit around and say we're just going to let the Lord handle it. Everyone gets some kind of political power, makes political moves off of black people. Anyone else is noticing this? And we're arguing over who's Republican, who's Democrat, and who voted for Trump, and all this silly shit. These people Asians don't even vote. But they're still amassing political power. Let me tell y'all something about white supremacy. And we can understand that black people, we were put here in this country only for other people's utilities. Until we recognize that, I think we'll start understanding the importance of us coming together as a race. But we keep on playing these multicultural games. I don't care if you're having sex with Caucasian, Asians, or whatever. The masses of us, 97% of us are still black, while you 3 to 10%, I guess 90% of us are still black, while you 3 to 10% are dating out and having children and mixing them up. It still won't change. It still not going to change. You are still black, even though your grandkid or your child is not black, you still black. You still gonna get pulled over. You still gonna get the nigga. You still gonna get all of that. So we need to quit playing the game, stop avoiding it. It's going to happen. We're going to have to do it. In order for us to survive, we're going to have to, as they say, come together eventually. They're going to force us to. So, I didn't want to I don't want anybody to get hurt, but I'm not going to act stupid. I saw that. I said, you know what? He kicked the lady in the face. He didn't even snatch her purse. He didn't even snatch her jewelry. He didn't do anything. He just walked up on her, kicked her in the face, stomped in the face, and moved on. So I'm giving him the mental illness pass. Because no one can say, well, why did he do it? He's mentally ill. You just walk up on somebody, start beating their ass, but you don't take their purse, snatch their wallet, or snatch their watch. You just beat somebody's ass and move on, or you just run up in a school and shoot up somebody, and that's mental illness. And so they're going to try to, I'm going to tell y'all something. They're going to try to surpass that. Oh, look, no, he just did it. No, if he just did it, goddammit, can we talk about Manchurian Candidate shit? Denzel Washington movie, Manchurian Candidate. Y'all want to watch that? But we could have some of those running around here. I know, it's just things that I see. You know what, Lisa? That game has been played too. Lisa said, I was thinking he was a white person in a black man mask until I saw his hands. These people are playing serious game. I hadn't even thought about that. They do. These people are committing crimes with black people masks. Oh my God. Y'all, come on now. We're going to have to, you know how I always say, we're going to have to build that fence. And we can get along with everybody. I'm not saying we should hate anybody. I just need us to start loving us and protecting us and start teaching our own children. That's all. Malcolm X, Nat Turner, Marcus Garvey, all these people, Harriet, all these people died so we can have some sense. It's almost like they died in vain. And we're coming upon the holiday or the date of Dr. King's murder. And we're still acting like a bunch of waiters in our own goddamn dinner table. It's just, why are we so in love with everyone else's validation? What's wrong with us? And I really try to shake myself out of this shit, but I'm like, what's wrong with the American Negro? Why are we so passive? Why are we so stupid? I keep saying, I said, maybe it's because of that goddamn Bible. Why do we keep reading that goddamn book? This keeps us as under everybody's foot. Let me tell you something. Everybody's got their knee on black people's necks. Every race, immigrants, they get to put their knee on black folks' necks. Because we refuse to build a fence. Let me tell y'all how this shit is. You know, in those old Western movies, when the Union or the Confederate Army thought they was going to attack a reservation, and what they used to do, put everybody in the middle, and all the men and the horses with the tomahawks and the bow and arrows would form a circle around the reservation as they were shooting those pistols and those bows and arrows. See, everyone understands that when I say we have to build a fence around our people, except for us. We don't understand what that means. We have to build an economic, a political, a mental health fence, a family fence. We have to build a fence. And in religious folks, y'all know how y'all say, Lord, build a fence. Protect me, oh Lord. Well, we need to build a fence. Economically, politically, educationally. Hell, family, we have to build a fence. We just sitting ducks. And our most valuable prized possession is being destroyed right before our eyes. It's called a black male. I'll talk to y'all later. This shit's silly. Love you still. I appreciate y'all for coming on. I can't. But thank y'all to my folks on my Facebook page and those who are listening. I can't. Peace.